Yes. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me for this debate. And it's a debate about PACS cases, YAG iridotomy for all. So this is the angle closure disease classification where it evolves from the stages of primary angle closure suspect to angle closure and angle closure glaucoma. And we are discussing about the first zone where there is oppositional contact, no pass, normal IOP, disc healthy, but trabecular meshwork is at risk, and whether to do LPR or whether to do observation. So this is what the data that is coming from the ZAP study, where it is recently published last year, which shows incidence of angle closure disease was very low among individuals classified as primary angle closure suspect identified through community-based screening. Laser iridotomy had a modest, albeit significant prophylactic effect, and widespread prophylactic peripheral iridotomy for primary angle closure suspect is not recommended. So this is what is the evidence that is coming. Not all should be treated, but I will differ on this issue. Even India, we had one study which was 2003, where we said 1 in 5 patients progress from PACS to PSC over a period of 5 years, and 1 in 4 goes on to develop primary open angle glaucoma. Now, this was one study which showed the risk is minimal. Now, this was all studies which have a drawback. They are single center. They are mainly in the different population or unique population. Like one is Chinese, one is in US population, one is Indian population. Where in first study, they observed 485 patients for 4 years, and they said only 6 develop acute primary angle closure glaucoma. In one study in USA, where 129 patients were there, only 8 develops glaucoma, which was 6.2%, and one small study in Vellore where 48 patients were treated and 0 patients developed acute primary angle closures. So that's what they are saying. The risk of developing primary angle closure glaucoma is minimal over a period of time. But acute angle closure glaucoma is a potentially blinding emergency. Pupillary block is thought to be the major component, and we know that is not the only component. But doing iridotomy does eliminate the pupillary block, and LPI in PACS slows down the progression to PAC, and LPI is fairly benign. Now, possible negative arguments against PIRs, iritis, IOP spike, some dysphotopsia, acceleration of cataract development of posterior synechia, and LPI only treats pupillary block, which is not the all mechanisms of angle closure. So they are taken into account, but we know there is a definite reduction in the progression of disease. Now, this one article in 2007 from Dr. Pandav, which shows after LPI, rate of progression from PSC to PSCG was less than expected, and it alters the natural course of disease because the native trabecular meshwork gets saved. So we know native trabecular meshwork is at risk because of repeated iridocorneal contact, and we want to save the native trabecular meshwork so that it functions long. And LPI appears to alter the natural course across all the spectrum of angle closure disease from PSCS, PSC to PSCG. Now, there are many unknown factors about angle closure disease, like dynamic iris behavior, which is undilated and dilated, iris volume studies by anterior segment OCT, dynamic caudal thickness changes. We still don't know what are the final triggering events for acute angle closure glaucoma because these factors are still unknown. And the number needed to treat these statistics is a lot of times highlighted, but I will highlight there are a few drawbacks to these statistics. Their number needed to treat is the number of patients you need to treat to prevent one additional bad outcome. And similar one index Dr. Sachin was saying about number needed to harm. So here we have an adverse effect because of the medications. So this are not the intrinsic property of treatment, but they are property of population that receive the treatment. And different populations have different baseline risk factors. Final effectiveness in the real world property that affects our clinical decision making. So many risk hangs on the patient. Some patients get accidental exposure of anticholinergic medication systemically for some other pre-anesthetic medication, and they land up in the angle closure glaucoma. So best rationale as a doctor is to err on the caution side. Even the aspirin has a number needed to treat of 1667. So that is a very high. So it is better to overtreat in current medical legal area. Statistics don't save us there. So in my opinion, YAG-PI for all PACS patients till many unknown aspect becomes clear about the pathogenesis of angle closure disease.